What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today I am coming in with a hoot and a holler of a video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I know I say that pretty much every single video, however, listen, okay? This one, it's special. It's not like the other girls. This one is a Q&A, where I answer the burning questions from the fans, from the subs, from the people I love. Before I dive into that, I would like to mention a couple things. First off, drop a like on this video if you do enjoy. Second off, don't forget to ask any questions that you have for me. Literally anything. For those of you who are new to the channel, maybe you've never seen a Q&A, never experienced it, never been able to be a part of it, I answer anything. There is no holds barred, so ask whatever you want, ask away. Just make sure you use the hashtag AskGoblin in your comment, because that is the only way I will see it. And also, another thing I want to mention real quick, I want to talk about the FanDuel ads and advertisement deals in general real quick. In the beginning of this video, I was going to make a whole separate video on this, but I decided to just cover it real quick in the beginning of this one instead. But basically, I'm not going to be accepting any more advertisement deals like the FanDuel one. I realize that is kind of hypocritical of me, and that's something that I've spoken against in my previous videos. So not only do I want to apologize for that, but I want to ensure that that will not be happening again. That will not be something that I do. Yes, they did offer me money, but fuck that. Fuck that shit. Fucking advertisement. We coming up. Real motherfuckers only. Goblin don't rock with them advertisements, them paid advertisements in the videos. Fuck that. You already watched one before the video. That's all the ads you need to see. I just dropped my earbud. Uh-oh. But anyways, you already saw one before the video probably, unless you have ad block, which if you do, I don't know, cool for you. But otherwise, that's all you need to see. So instead of that, what I decided to do is I actually created a Patreon page. I know that I've mentioned this a couple times before, and I actually had a couple people ask me if I had one or not. So I decided to make one. For those of you who have been with me for a while, you may remember that I set one up one time, but I never really updated it or anything. So I actually updated it and added some cool little things. So for example, if you pledge like $20, I'll draw a picture of you and put it in a video, or whatever you want me to draw. Or, you know, for example, you could tell me to say something. There's just cool stuff. Just go check out the link if you're interested. If not, I'm not going to ramble on that. Let's dive into it. So the first question from Phil Toombs, hashtag AskGoblin, will you ever make videos with your friends again like the Xanax story with Bobby? And yes, actually, I would love to make more videos like that. Me and Bobby have been talking, him in particular. He's really interested in making some more videos with me. It's just more figuring out a time when he's able to get over here and sit down and record with me, because we're both pretty busy dudes. But yeah, I would love to make some videos with friends again. I think that video in particular that was mentioned, the one, the Xanax story that was with Bobby, I think that's one of my best videos personally, because that was just, I go back and I watch that a lot, and it's hilarious every time. It's just very funny. So I'd love to collab with friends more. Next question from Joseph Durbin, hashtag AskGoblin, on average, how long does it take you to make and upload a video? This is a very good question. I get asked this a decent amount, not necessarily like in the comments, but just people always ask me, like, how long do you spend on your videos? So basically, when I want to make a video, there's kind of like a process I have. I first off have to like sit down and think of something to talk about, and sometimes this can be really easy. Like sometimes I'll just wake up in the morning and I'll have a topic almost immediately. Or like sometimes I'll be out at a party or like out doing things with friends, and I'll just be thinking to myself, damn, this is going to make a great video. And then there's other days when I can't really think of something. So I have to think back like, what dumb fucking shit have I done in my life that I can maybe talk about? And I really sit back and think. So that's like the thinking process. Then I sit down and record, and I typically do it all in one take because I never stop talking. So, you know, I just kind of got the hang of like recording my whole commentary in one try. So typically I do that. So it takes me as long to record it as the commentary is. And then I do a little bit of audio editing, just a slight bass boost so you guys hear me a little louder, not really much altering to my voice at all. And then I render the video, I edit it a little bit, so I put it in Vegas. I already have like this little template file where I have everything set up. Got the overlay, the Snapchat slide-in thing. I got it all set up for everybody. So I got all that arranged. I just slap the gameplay in there, slap the commentary, slap the questions in, edit those in, time them right, make sure everything's all good to go. Then I render the video. Now, rendering is when it's just saving the file, you know, processing it. So I have a pretty beast computer, so it doesn't really take me very long to do that. Then I make the thumbnail, go into Photoshop while it's rendering, typically, you know, slap together the images, add the starburst effect, add the effects to the things, crop out some images to put in the thumbnail that are relevant to the video. And then I upload it, then I title it, then I do the description, then I put a thumbnail on there, and then I just do the tags, and I'm all good to go. So, I mean, on average, it takes me like That whole process maybe takes me like 2 hours around. I mean, not like a crazy amount of time per day, but I do put a decent amount of effort into my videos. Next question from Atomic, hashtag Ask Goblin, what's the highest UG trip you've ever had? Probably like, let me think. I haven't tripped in a long time, guys. I haven't really done acid in like months, since like April. Probably in like the 600s, I'd estimate, 5 to 600s, give or take, probably around that range. I can't put an exact number on it though, because, sometimes a plug will tell you the UG amount, but it's not the exact UG amount, so I'm just estimating. Ballpark, probably around the 600s, 5 to 600s. Next question from Oswin Eiler Lawson. I hope I said that right. Hashtag Ask Goblin. Do you think that acid is safe for teens in middle school? Can we analyze that question for a minute? Do you think acid is safe for teens in middle school? If I was in middle school doing acid, I think that would have melted my brain. I don't think my little self could have handled that. No, absolutely not, dude. Not even like an 8th grader just turned 14. No, don't do acid, don't trip, don't do that shit. You're not ready for it. Just wait till you're older, believe me. At that point, I don't know what grade you're in. I don't know if you're even asking for yourself. But one-time thing or not, it's not how drugs work. Like, even though acid isn't necessarily like an addictive drug, really, I mean, I've never encountered anyone who's addicted to it. I've never had a problem with like being addicted to it. It's like drugs aren't necessarily a one-time thing. You feel me? Like, you can say like, oh, I'm going to do a drug one time. It's not really a one-time thing. Once you've experienced it, if you enjoyed it, there's a likely probability you're going to go back, so that's definitely not a good idea. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Next question from Leslie the Lemur, hashtag Ask Goblin, what is the difference between shrooms and acid? Okay, so basically, they're both psychedelics, and they're both classified in the same category of drug, right? So a lot of people think that they're very similar, and like when you see like a visual representation, like in a movie or TV show, like a character tripping on shrooms or acid, a lot of times it's the same thing. However, they're kind of different. They're pretty different, actually. With acid, this is personal experience I'm going to be speaking on. None of this is factual. None of this is like in the books. This is just my experience. I've only done shrooms like twice, but I'm an acid man. I love acid, and acid is more of like kind of a happy, like a happy, outgoing-ish, like, outside frolicking through the meadow, all the colors are beautiful kind of trip. Whereas with shrooms, it's more of like a self-centered kind of enhance yourself, discover something about yourself, like more of a personal experience. Shrooms aren't necessarily like a social thing unless you're in a group of people you're very, very close with, which I know I've said that about acid as well, but like that's even more emphasized on shrooms. Shrooms is just a very, very personalized experience, and like also, in my opinion, I think the visual effects of shrooms are a lot more intense. Personally with shrooms, I've had a lot more like intense visual trips, but not always in a good way. I've only done shrooms like once or twice, but it's just, in my opinion, my shroom trips that I've done were visually a lot more intense and harder to handle than an acid trip. Whereas an acid trip, it's just like everything's colorful, beautiful, you're happy. Sometimes you'll see like, some things are disformed or like shaped weirdly, but like when I was on shrooms, dude, I thought this whole house was like melting. Like shit, it was terrifying. I mean, that was just my personal experience, but still, you get the point. Shrooms are more of a, in my opinion, intense visually, and also more of a self-centered trip. So it really depends on the kind of person you are as to what drug you want to do. Next question from Mike YOLO. What's your favorite weed strain? Hashtag Ask Goblin. I've answered this before, guys. I get asked this all the time, However, this actually changes pretty frequently. I always have a new strain of weed that I'm like currently craving. And right now, this past week, I've been smoking on some Bubba OG. and it's been great. It's been very, very good. Highly recommend it. There's also this new strain called Sinex, and I don't know if it's like new, like actually new, but apparently like around here it's new, here in Illinois, here to my friends, and one of my buddies just got some of it the other day, and we smoked some of it, and it was incredible, and it's some stuff that is not very common around here, at least from my experience. So Sinex, Cinex, new strain, go check it out, go look it up. Definitely a great strain. Not too common though, as far as I'm aware. Next question from Gedalia Kohler, hashtag Ask Goblin, what did your parents and school say about dropping out? But then War Team WA already answered for him. He said, don't worry, it's a fake story. Cause fuck Goblin, he makes fake stories. Fuck him, I hate Goblin. Fuck you, deuces Goblin. Man, I love the fans. Well, you know, my parents are pretty cool with it. My parents kind of expected it. Like, I don't really think they were too caught off guard at all, quite honestly. Like, they were kind of like, are you sure? Is this really what you want to do? And I was like, yeah, I really think this is what I want to do. And they were just kind of like, okay. And then school, I didn't even see school after I decided I wanted to drop out. I decided to drop out, on a weekend. So, like, that following Monday, my dad just went into the school and submitted my withdrawal and everything, and I never even had to speak to a teacher, because, like, I'd only been attending school for, like, 4 days at that point, and I just dropped out. I was like, fuck it. So, not really much was said. And the final question, we're going to wrap it up here, since this video is getting very long. Maud Guilfoyle says, hashtag Ask Goblin. I fuck this guy's name up all the time, dude. I swear to God, I've answered this guy's questions plenty. He's a loyal sub. If you're listening to this, I love you. Thank you for commenting very often. But I always fuck this dude's name up. But anyways, he said, hashtag Ask Goblin. My parents just caught me smoking weed. Now I can't smoke for ages. They're not drug testing me or anything, but I'm literally just not allowed out. What should I do? Well, okay, so you're not allowed out, but they're not drug testing you. So that's a plus. That means that if you're able to obtain weed from your home, you're able to smoke. So simply just have the plug come to you. Sure, he might pay a little or charge a little extra because he's coming to you, but just find a plug who's mobile. There's lots of them. If your current plug isn't someone who's willing to drive, you'll go find someone else. Ask your friends who smoke weed. Be like, hey, you know anyone who can come to me, or stuff like that. Or just sneak out. I mean, honestly, I used to do that a lot. Not the best idea because you can get caught, but if you don't get caught, shit's sweet. That's all I'm going to say. So, hope you guys did enjoy this video. Drop a like if you did, and ask me any more questions using the hashtag AskGoblin. Also, if you are interested in supporting me, I would greatly appreciate it. However, it's not required. Just check out my Patreon in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.